You're listening to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. The show that gives pastors and church leaders the clarity they need to protect their people, property, and ministry.
Welcome back to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. I'm your host, Ron Wadley, with Insurance for Texans. This show is designed to help church leaders like you cut through the confusion of insurance and protect your ministry with clarity and confidence. Not long ago, Theresa from a small church in Abilene called with a question. Her church was helping with a big community event, and she wanted to know if their general liability coverage would protect them outside their own walls. She had heard about special event insurance and wondered if they needed it. That's a smart question, and one every church should be asking as you plan fall festivals, VBS kickoffs, or community outreach events. Because while these gatherings bring joy and connection, they also carry risks that your standard policy might not cover. Here's the reality. Accidents happen. A child trips and gets hurt. A borrowed facility gets damaged. Or a sudden storm forces you to cancel an outdoor event altogether. Without the right coverage, your church could be left paying out of pocket, or worse, facing a lawsuit. And here's something many leaders don't realize. General liability policies often exclude large special events, whether they're on church property or offsite. That means unless you have event-specific coverage, you may be exposed. So let's break it down. Special event insurance is a temporary, affordable policy that covers risks tied directly to big gatherings. It can include coverage for several things like liability coverage, which helps cover legal defense, settlements, and judgments if someone is injured or property is damaged at your event. Property damage protects both your church's property and any third-party property you're using or renting. Bodily injury covers medical expenses, lost wages, and defense costs if a guest is hurt. Event cancellation, in some cases, it even helps with costs if the event has to be canceled, something every Texas church knows is possible when weather rolls in. The bottom line is this. Event insurance ensures your outreach moments aren't overshadowed by financial risks you didn't see coming. If your church is hosting in a park, a rented hall, or even just a large community event on your own property, chances are you'll need separate coverage. An experienced church insurance agent can read your policy with you and quickly identify whether you need that extra protection. For most churches, the good news is this. Special event insurance is straightforward, the paperwork is light, and the cost is usually just a few $100s. That's a small investment for the peace of mind it brings. So before your next big event, ask yourself, do we have the right coverage, or are we crossing our fingers and hoping for the best? At insurancefortexans.com, we help churches like yours find the right protection for both everyday ministry and those special celebrations. And if you want a deeper look at how to remove the guesswork from church insurance, grab my book, The Promise of Certainty, at thepromiseofcertainty.com. Thanks for joining me for today's episode of Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance. I'm Ron Wadley, reminding you that protecting your church isn't just about buildings. It's about safeguarding the moments that bring your community together.
Thanks for listening to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance. Until next time, remember, insurance isn't just about policies. It's about safeguarding the mission God has called you to lead.